Kanye West, or Ye, and his wife Bianca Censori are making headlines again after they showed up to the Grammys uninvited and Bianca was just like naked for some reason. It's not new, she is naked like a lot, but for some people, this new look has taken it way too far. And not only that, there's mixed reports on them being escorted out of the venue and being uninvited from after parties. The architect and the rapper slash designer slash all-round weird guy have been grabbing the world's attention since they first got together back in 2023, with looks like this, or this, and this. The day after the Grammys, Ye announced that he is selling Bianca-esque outfits, so you too can dress like that. Photos of Bianca from before she met Kanye show a completely different person, and the recent red carpet has many concern for her well-being. So who is she really? Is she actually an architect? How did she get from the Australian suburbs to Kanye West in the first place? Why is she always naked, and how much of this is she consenting to? Bianca Censori was born in 1995 in Melbourne, Australia, meaning that her and Kanye, who's born in 1977, have a 17-year-ish age gap. Her age wasn't public for a long time, and I'm not sure why, but it's now been confirmed. So right now she's 29 or 30, and Ye is 47. She attended Carey Baptist Grammar School in Melbourne, which sounds very fancy. But from what I've gathered from Google and asking my friends in Melbourne, it's pretty normal, maybe slightly more upper middle class vibes, and admission there is around 1,800 Australian dollars a year. She's got two sisters. Her youngest sister Angelina is a model, and her other sister Alicia is a nurse and a mum. Bianca's mother is named Alexandra Censori, and she seems pretty chill. There isn't heaps of info about her either, but she's been seen shopping around Melbourne with a very expensive Prada bag, so assuming she's got money. Good for her. But there are reports that Bianca comes from a notorious Australian crime family. Her dad, Leo Censori, is the brother of notorious Australian gangster Eros Censori, who has been dubbed Melbourne's Al Capone. He was sentenced to death in 1982 for the murder of a man named Michael in Perth, according to the Daily Mail. Leo has done some jail time too, with the Daily Mail reporting that he was sentenced to 5 years for a heroin possession charge in the 80s, and his ex-wife told the Herald Sun that Leo was once involved in a gambling cartel. Interesting, huh? But all of that happened around a decade before Bianca was even born, so it's really unclear how this has affected her life. She's never spoken about it, but she clearly has a thick skin if she's spending this much time around Kanye West. Just saying. Now, there isn't actually loads of information about Bianca's life in Melbourne. She did, however, speak about her upbringing in an interview with Hypebeast in November of 2021, but it's since been mysteriously removed. I wonder if Kanye has anything to do with that. Spoiler alert, probably. But guess what? I found the archive of it. It's mostly about the Yeezy team of architects at the time, and Bianca still looked and dressed a bit more regular back then, but she did share a couple of tidbits about her childhood and her passion for architecture, saying, "I was born and raised in Melbourne, Australia. As a child, I was consistently drawn to creative endeavours, mostly artistic. I always wanted to be a sculptor, and to me, architecture is the union of art and pragmatics. It is the grandest artistic gesture that we can place onto the earth. I was drawn to it purely as a shift in artistic scale. And as a child, I spent a lot of time with my aunt, who would consistently expose me to an array of art, film, and architecture. She really drove my love for design and instilled in me an eye for aesthetics that I was able to nurture into adulthood." According to Bianca's LinkedIn profile, she has a bachelor and master's degree in architecture from the University of Melbourne. But a friend said that Bianca dropped out after she first came in contact with Kanye. So yeah, maybe she didn't finish, maybe she did. She definitely is an architect though, or at least knows how to be one. Her bachelor's degree she definitely has, and she worked for DP Toscano Architects in Australia before all the Kanye and Yeezy stuff. Bianca does have a bit of an entrepreneurial spirit, much like her husband, starting her own jewellery line in 2013 called Nylons. It's not going anymore, but the stuff looked nice. Nowhere near the outlandish shit I think she'd wear now, but sure, it's cute, and it's cute. So how does this girl, who's running a successful business and studying to be an architect, end up naked with Kanye West every other day? How does somebody go from this to this? Bianca began working at Yeezy, Kanye's company, as an architectural designer in November of 2020. How, you asked? Well, there are some conflicting reports. A woman who goes by Kate, the same person who said Bianca dropped out, told an Australian radio show that the pair met just like anyone else, via Instagram DMs, saying, Ye slid into her DMs, found her on Instagram and said, come and work for me, and she dropped out. I'm not actually sure if she's an architect, but other reports say she was headhunted by Kanye for her skills and added to the design team not via an Instagram DM, but through more professional means. I'm not sure, I'm not sure. What do you think? I don't know. Anyway, Kanye and Kim, as far as we know, were still together in November of 2020, but just 1 month later, Kim posted a photo from vacation in Lake Tahoe, notably without Kanye, and with her engagement ring missing. This was one of the first signs of the couple heading for divorce. Did that timeline mean anything to you? I don't know. Bianca do be working for Kanye though. They were still just co-workers at this stage in 2020 allegedly. And I'm not sure how much actual architecture she did for the company before her role became being naked, but she did feature prominently in a New Yorker story about Kanye's house in Malibu and their failed attempts to remodel it. It seemed like her job in this particular sense was to communicate Kanye's ideas to contractors and show people around. Not an easy job. Oh, let me just translate what Kanye West is saying and wants you to do. Yeah, not easy. How did they go from co-workers to whatever the heck we call their relationship now? Let's get into some timelines. Timelines. December 7th, 2022, Kanye releases a new song called Someday We'll All Be Free, also known as Sensory Overload, on the Infowars website and his Instagram before it being taken down because of, all the anti-Semitic stuff he was saying. At the time, fans didn't really know who Bianca was, so they just thought Ye was saying sensory in a funny way. But some of the lyrics were, quote, and the Bible said, I can't have any more sex till marriage. This issue would soon be solved. January 9th, 2023, Kanye and Bianca are seen sharing a meal together, and a few days later on January 13th, it's reported that they're married. Huh? TMZ said at the time that although there weren't photos of them side by side, she had been at some Kanye-adjacent events, including a Balenciaga show that May. And multiple sources shared that the couple recently had a private ceremony to celebrate their love, but they didn't appear to file a marriage certificate yet to make it legal. So they were married in vibes, I guess. But the Daily Mail eventually confirmed that the couple had, in fact, gotten married legally. They used a confidential marriage license, which means it wasn't on public record. The real twist, though, according to the official document, they got married on December 20th, 2022, weeks before they were seen together for the first time. It's important to note here that Kanye's divorce from Kim was finalized only a couple months before this. And I don't know if you remember how next level Kanye was getting about getting his wife back and high-key tormenting Pete Davidson for dating Kim. All the while, I guess he had Bianca the whole time. And at this time, Bianca was dressed way more normal. I don't know, it just feels important to note when she's dressed normally and when she's not. I feel like it's important to the story. Throughout 2023, they were spotted in various locations, like these photos in Japan, and then she's hanging out with Northwest that June. As you can see, the outfits are getting more questionable, but they're still considered clothes, I would say. Then 2 months later, in August of 2023, the sheer outfits and general nudity begin. They were in Italy and she was wearing what she was wearing, and then this happened on a boat. Ooh. The two ended up under investigation for offense against public decency, and they were declared unwelcome and undesirable by the boat company and also maybe the entire country of Italy. They were up to other messy stuff too. A police official said at the time, Venice officials have issued Kanye and Bianca a number of citations during their stay in the city, including those for cruising the canals, picnicking in the open air, and spreading on the steps of public buildings. Wow, they sound awesome to travel with. My God, so fun. Oh, it's yuck. From here, look, timeline-wise, let's just be honest, it's basically a show reel of intense nudity from here until the Grammys. Just them either wearing the most insane outfit you've ever seen in your life or nothing. Kanye saying the sort of stuff he likes to say and her seemingly being fine with it. Right, great. So what is going on behind the scenes here? What is this seemingly bizarre relationship actually like? And is she okay? Trigger warning, it's about to get very weird, very R18, very uncomfortable. We're talking sex stuff. This may be disturbing for some people. Last year, a former assistant of Kanye named Lauren made a series of shocking allegations against him, including that his wife acted as his orgy coordinator. Lauren is suing Kanye for sexual harassment and stalking, which she claims took place while she worked for him during 2021 and 2022. Her lawsuit alleges that Kanye used his Yeezy offices as, quote, sexual playgrounds to make him feel powerful and secure. She claims that a makeshift bedroom, a mattress, pillows, and blanket in a private room or closet was often set up for him to use by employees. Among other shocking allegations, Bianca is allegedly a, quote, former sex party participant and coordinator, and she looked unfazed when Kanye allegedly grabbed Lauren's throat and said weird, scary, sexual shit into her ear. Lauren also claims that Bianca participated in sex parties and took part in Kanye's, quote, disturbing sexual obsessions, including weird texts where he told his wife he wanted to sleep with her mother. Bianca was on a work visa at the time, and the lawsuit alleges that Kanye required her to text in a certain way in order to keep her visa, and also that she was subjected to, quote, sexual servitude. This was extended to other employees too, with further claims that Kanye used his connections at Adidas and Gap to get women into the US so that he could sleep with them, giving them obscure job titles at his companies and then having them sign NDAs. Bianca was apparently a typical example of this. Additionally, Kanye apparently had sex with his employees often and had a rotating list of guests in his offices. There is a lot more in that lawsuit that is crazy, but I honestly can't get into it on YouTube. It's really dark. Ugh. Many people have voiced concerns about the situation at the Grammys, wondering if Bianca is being coerced in some way or forced to wear these looks as some sort of humiliation kink. But there is some very strong evidence that Bianca likes dressing like this. One of Bianca's good friends is a designer named Gadir Rajab, who started a fashion line, Raga Malak. The pair have known each other a long time, and here in these photos, all the way back when Bianca has long brown hair, she's posing in some of his designs, which are eerily similar to how she dresses now. There are even claims that her work with Gadir is how she was scouted by Yeezy in the first place, but I really couldn't confirm this one for us. Sorry, guys. Gadir has dressed Doja Cat, Paris Hilton, and he's behind some of Bianca's more infamous sheer and revealing looks. Although reports are mixed on whether Kanye and Bianca were actually kicked out of the Grammys, a professional lip reader has decoded what he said to her in the moments before she dropped her dress. Drop it behind you and then turn. You're making a scene now. I got you. And then she says, all right, let's go. So look, maybe she's into it. But I just personally find the idea of an older man wanting his younger wife to walk around publicly naked for spectacle and attention, I'd find it kind of weird. Sorry, maybe I'm a prude, maybe I'm boring, but I just don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. If I'm being honest, I find the entire thing bizarre, and I do think there's more to the story that we don't know when it comes to this billionaire relationship. Some people have called it a humiliation fetish. I would call it a money fetish. The story is also obviously kind of a lot, and I couldn't even get into everything. But how do you feel about it? Are people right to be concerned, or do you feel like Bianca has autonomy here and she likes to dress this way? And what about this lawsuit? Do you think it explains some of the weird nature of their relationship? Do you think that she was scouted as an architect or found on Instagram? Let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We do 5 videos a week on anything you could imagine, anything happening in the news, any weird thing happening around the world. And I love doing deep dives on people like this, so let me know if there's someone else you want to know about. There was so much to this story as well that I just couldn't fit in. It's actually crazy and quite bizarre. I recommend you have a big read up on all of that lawsuit and all of that stuff if you're interested, because it is just cray, girl. Also, thoughts on this executive realness top? 80s executive realness? Should I do more of this? Should I get a little news studio?